Take advantage of this special offer for a free 10-day trial at philsgang.com.
Try it. 10 days free.
That's philsgang.com.
philsgang.com.
With the philsgang.com membership, we bring investors right to the floor, into the pits with Phil's daily live webinar classroom. Get inside market guidance on investing strategies. Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Don't have time to analyze and study stocks? At philsgang.com, we recognize that there are all types of investors, and we also recognize that your time is valuable. So we offer investing programs for all individuals. We offer investing programs for long-term and short-term positions. And philsgang.com provides quick and easy to understand investing videos that only take a few minutes to watch. With the philsgang.com investing programs, you will learn technical stock charting, how to execute your trades, and most importantly, you will gain the confidence to know when to get out of a stock and take profits. Sign up at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or give them a call, 877-600-GANG.
There's a lot of noise out there in the financial world. Bank failures, interest rates, bonds versus stocks. It's a lot. That's why it's important to find a voice of reason that can guide you through these volatile times. Phil Grande and philsgang.com is where you can find honest, helpful guidance to successful investing.
Get the knowledge and understand how the market really works.
And for a limited time, you can join Phil's Gang free for 10 days.
philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. What, are you nuts? If the stock market can make you so rich, especially Apple and Microsoft and Google and Amazon and the rest, why are so many Americans poor? If the 401k promises you a retirement, then why is it we are in a retirement crisis? Here's the answer. Because 85% of you get out of the market too late. I fixed that with my color-coded chart, which tells you when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out. That's right, when to run like hell. Check it out. You get a free membership and the free color-coded chart for 10 days. Check it out, philsgang.com.
Want good investing advice from someone you can trust? Listen to Phil Grande.
With what's going on today in the economy, especially the stock market, it gets really complicated, but it doesn't have to be. My job is to make it simple, to get through the fog. And I think I do that, and I think I do a pretty good job of that, especially why you should be buying a stock, or why you should be in the market, or not in the market, or shorting.
Invest wisely with the knowledge of Phil Grande at philsgang.com.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande of philsgang.com. Over the years, I've successfully taught tens of thousands of investors how to navigate the market with confidence. Become a Phil's Gang member and receive the training, the advice, and the software that will take your investing to the next level. I have a team comprised of successful investors, all with proven track records, and the Phil's Gang software is easy to use, painless to navigate, and tells you exactly when to buy, when to sell, when to hold, when to run like hell, even short. Learn about common market mistakes and how to minimize them. You don't have to be a seasoned investor to benefit from Phil's Gang and platform. No matter what level investor you are, my strategies for investing are designed to put you on the path to success. Sign up for the 10-day free trial to see our platform in action. Avoid market pitfalls and start winning with Phil's Gang. Learn more at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com.
Want good investing advice from someone you can trust? Listen to Phil Grande.
With what's going on today in the economy, especially the stock market, it gets really complicated, but it doesn't have to be. My job is to make it simple, to get through the fog. And I think I do that, and I think I do a pretty good job of that, especially why you should be buying a stock, or why you should be in the market, or not in the market, or shorting.
Invest wisely with the knowledge of Phil Grande at philsgang.com.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande of philsgang.com. Over the years, I've successfully taught tens of thousands of investors how to navigate the market with confidence. Become a Phil's Gang member and receive the training, the advice, and the software that will take your investing to the next level. I have a team comprised of successful investors, all with proven track records, and the Phil's Gang software is easy to use, painless to navigate, and tells you exactly when to buy, when to sell, when to hold, when to run like hell, even short. Learn about common market mistakes and how to minimize them. You don't have to be a seasoned investor to benefit from Phil's Gang and platform. No matter what level investor you are, my strategies for investing are designed to put you on the path to success. Sign up for the 10-day free trial to see our platform in action. Avoid market pitfalls and start winning with Phil's Gang. Learn more at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com.
The stocks discussed on Phil's Gang are not in any way a recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell, or hold. If considering acting on information presented, we first recommend you seek out a competent, licensed professional for advice. Get ready for the radio show that tells you what Wall Street doesn't want you to know.
Oh, I'm a money magnet. Money, money, money's coming to me. Money sets me free. I'm a money magnet. Money, 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 money's coming to me.
It's your daily dose of how to manage your money. And now it's time for Phil's Gang on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. With your host, Phil Grande.
Can you explain why the market has handled it so well that we're not getting 7 rate cuts starting next month? I mean, we were counting on that. We were set up for that. It's obviously not going to happen now, and we're still trading higher.
Because earnings are coming through pretty good.
Well, the earnings are coming through pretty good. No, they're not. Not at all. Okay? First of all, the earnings are coming through. It's just, again, the 7 stocks, the magnificent 7 stocks are doing all the participation. They're doing all the contribution. Here we go again. Without these 7 stocks that make up about 26% of the the S&P 500 weight or index, we would be down. We'd be negative at 0.8%. What are they talking about? Now listen to this.
Are companies making money? 40% of Russell 2000 companies have negative earnings. You take out those 7 stocks, the magnificent 7 stocks, the other 493 stocks had negative earnings growth.
There you go. So this guy is lying.
Can you explain why the market has handled it so well that we're not getting 7 rate cuts starting next month? I mean, we were counting on that. We were set up for that. It's obviously not going to happen now, and we're still trading higher.
Because earnings are coming through pretty good.
It's unbelievable, isn't it? It just drives you crazy, just like the consumer. Listen to this.
70% of the U.S. economy is consumer-driven. The consumer seems to be pretty strong. They still have savings. They're spending money.
Oh, really? Still have savings, spending money, doing really well? No, that's not true at all. In fact, if you go back and look, the national savings rate right now, we should be 6 to 12% of our GDP growth. We're not. We're at 0.1, almost negative. So again, they just continue to lie. I mean, our credit cards. I mean, the debt on our credit cards is up 50% from where it was a year ago. 50%. But they don't want to tell you the truth about the market, or about the economy, rather. They just don't want to tell you the truth. They don't want to tell you the truth. That's the beautiful thing about charting. We always get the truth from the charts, because they can sit there and lie all day long about how great the consumer is doing, how he's doing wonderful, he's strong. When none of that is true, people are dying. They have no savings. They're working 2 jobs. The savings went from 32% during the COVID, when they had all those plans out there, and you didn't have to, and the moratoriums in your house and your car, you didn't have to pay anything. I mean, the stimulus checks came in. I mean, it was unbelievable. It was like Disney World, 24/7. That's all gone. Now people are broke again. People are broke. So the best thing is, again, if you want to make money in the stock market, follow the charts. You find a stock, follow. As a matter of fact, I was telling my gang today, it's interesting. We've been in all those 7 tech stocks since October. And now I'm telling them, look, and we've made pretty good money. But I said, now what we got to focus on, and we did this for, let's go focus on the oil companies. Nobody wants the oil companies. But the oil companies are starting to base. What's that mean? Sometimes it'll take 2, 3, 4 months, 5 months, where all of a sudden the sellers are gone. They punched it down so much that when you get some big down days, it doesn't go down any further. And that's where oil is getting right now. And nobody cares about oil stocks. Nobody's even looking at them. But that's where you should be focused on. And if you missed this whole rally since October, and you're jumping in NVIDIA at the very top today, you got to be out of your mind. You're gonna lose. You are 100% going to lose because you don't know what you're doing. But where you would make money if you would just be patient and wait, especially if you don't know if you know very little about the stock market, be patient and wait for the oils. And then the same thing with gold. Wait for the gold stocks. Those are starting to base now nicely. Gold itself, gold the material, has now hit a base. What used to be a ceiling on gold is now a base. So that's basing out. But 95% of the traders are going to miss the oil move. They're going to miss the gold move. And there's one more thing you should be focusing on, shorting the builders. The builders are going to get clobbered, but right now they're strong. Builders are strong. They still want to go up. Why? Because remember, builders lag way behind. It used to be when you went and bought a house from a builder, the day you signed the contract, and let's say a year later you're supposed to get your house delivered, it takes about a year, they could count the sale the minute you signed the contract. Well, the accounting rules changed on that. They can't count the sale now until after they close. So what's happening is a lot of these homes were sold a year ago, 18 months ago, but now they're just starting to rotate where they're starting to close. That's why it looks so strong, and that's why the stocks keep going up, the builder stocks. So they're just, again, behind in a cycle. When that cycle's finished, we caught one cycle. We caught XHB. We shorted XHB back in July of 2023 from, I forget where it was, from about $85, I think, it was $90, down to around $65. I think that was about 20% gain. 20% gain. Nobody was even looking at the builders. Nobody even looked at them. And we were there waiting for this to happen. In fact, the first time we started out, we thought it was going to go down, and it didn't. But we didn't hardly lose anything because we just had a scout on. But then we finally caught it. Now, it's the same thing with gold, and it's the same thing with oil, because you're going to see the dollar fall. You're going to see the bond market go through the roof. Interest rates are going to keep going up, okay? And you're just going to see rates climb. You know, when everybody's looking at the 10-year Treasury, you'll think it's going to drop to 3%, 2%. No, it's going to go the opposite way. Yields are going to go higher, not lower. You're being lied to. It's going to go higher. Interest rates have to, because there's too much money in the system. The money supply is incredible, and they can't get the money supply out fast enough. And the Federal Reserve still has on their balance sheet $8 trillion worth of garbage they bought from the banks going back to 2008. Interest rates only have one place to go, up, because inflation's going to go up. There's just too much money in the system. I mean, think about it. For 14 years, they've been printing money and pushing it into the system. You just don't open a little faucet and it all pours out. What are you, nuts? Crazy. So, and then they say to you about the earnings. I love how they say about earnings are doing so well, right? And they'll come out with a headline on earnings. And let's see if I can find the headline. Right here. Here's the earnings. More than half of the S&P 500 companies have reported quarterly results. 81.2% surpassed profits expectations. People get all excited. Wow, these companies are doing 81% better than they thought. Their profits are 81%. No, that's not what they're saying. They want you to think that. to go buy that stock.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
When you listen to the advice of Phil Grande at philsgang.com, you'll find investing in the stock market makes sense with the right guidance.
People keep saying to me, boy, things are hard, things are tough. Boy, the market's really screwed up. And I don't agree with them. For us here at Phil's Gang, we make it so it's simple. It doesn't matter if the market's bad or good. We consistently do well because we make it simple. And just like for my listeners on the radio or on the internet or my podcast, we make it simple. We try to break it down so you really understand why the market is going up or why there's continued inflation or why the bank rates are going up. So you understand, especially yields. The most important thing is to understand how yields work. Just what we do. We work hard at it.
Trusted advice, easy to understand strategies that will make you a better investor. Get all the details at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. When making wise investment decisions, Phil Grande has some sound reasons you should join Phil's Gang.
When I started this, they asked me, okay, can you explain to people why they should join the gang? Gee, I thought about that. And I guess to make money. But more than that, to get good direction on which way the economy's really going. We get so much crap, so many lies, how great the economy is and how great the tech business is, and when it's not. The problem is we have too many people in Washington and in this industry that just don't tell the truth. The truth is everything. And here at Phil's Gang, we stick with the facts. We tell the truth. We make sure our members, are getting the best information, and our listeners, like you. We make that information available to you and make it simple and understandable.
Good investing means understanding how the stock market works. Join today at philsgang.com. Why are investors listening to Phil Grande at philsgang.com?
You know why people listen to my show? Because I make it simple. When you talk about the stock market, they make it so complicated. I make it easy to understand. For the average investor, the Main Street investor, most of the time, these guys, like they're talking to each other. We talk directly to you and we listen to you.
Invest better with the sound advice of Phil Grande at philsgang.com.
At St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, we're fighting against childhood cancer every day. At the heart of this battle are our donors.
Most of us want to make some type of difference in the lives of others. St. Jude does miraculous work.
The fact that no one has to pay, it's a place where everyone is treated as an equal.
Everybody is welcome here, and it doesn't matter your religion or what part of the world you're from. All that is taken away. It just gives you some hope.
It's just a nice feeling to put your energy into something that really does genuinely make a difference in a child's life.
There's just no greater gift. If we have the ability to help, then we have a responsibility to help.
Finding cures, saving children. St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Find out how you can help at stjude.org.
Are you a stock market investor without all the information?
What are you, nuts? Market's going up, market's going down. We're getting all this bad information.
How do you invest intelligently? Phil Grande can show you.
If you want real information and you really want to know what the market's going to do and you want the truth, go to my site, philsgang.com, and also listen to me on my radio show every weekday at 3 o'clock Eastern.
Phil's got the answers at philsgang.com.
That's philsgang.com, where you get the truth and you get the information you need about the market.
When making wise investment decisions, Phil Grande has some sound reasons you should join Phil's Gang.
When I started this, they asked me, okay, can you explain to people why they should join the gang? Gee, I thought about that. And I guess to make money. But more than that, to get good direction on which way the economy's really going. We get so much crap, so many lies, how great the economy is and how great the tech business is, and when it's not. The problem is we have too many people in Washington and in this industry that just don't tell the truth. The truth is everything. And here at Phil's Gang, we stick with the facts. We tell the truth. We make sure our members, are getting the best information, and our listeners, like you. We make that information available to you and make it simple and understandable.
Good investing means understanding how the stock market works. Join today at philsgang.com.
Welcome back. Learn, invest, and make profits with Phil Grande. Simply go to philsgang.com. Now, here's Phil.
What is the likelihood of another real estate-led banking crisis?
I don't think that's likely.
Oh my God, what a lie that is. These people just lie. Both. Are you kidding? There's $6 trillion in commercial real estate loans that are upside down. And who's holding the majority of that $6 trillion? The 180 regional banks that went belly up. And the doors are staying open only because the Federal Reserve started a bank fund program. And they started the bank term funding program. After Silicon Valley and First Republic Signature went down, New York Community Bank just went down. So what they do is they print out all this money, and so that the customers can at least get their, when they go to the bank, get their money out. But how they do that, pretty clever. They say, I'll tell you what, you're getting at the bank less than 0.25%. How about this? We'll make sure you get your money. We'll give you your money, but you loan it back to us, the government, and we'll give you 5.2%. That's what's going on. Are you kidding me? So there's $500 or $600 billion due at the same time that the 180 regional banks are supposed to pay back the first 141 billion of the 6 trillion. And at the same time, these banks, they got to pay back their loan to the bank term funding program. So in other words, let me get these numbers right. So the commercial loans, 6 trillion, upside down. So I think it's about 400 billion of the 6 trillion is due. They owe these commercial banks that are upside down, 180 banks, and those 180 banks owe in March 141 billion back to the bank term funding. They can't do it. They don't have the money. So they've been borrowing for the last year all this money, up to 141 billion from the term funding program. Now it's due in March. They can't pay it back. But at the same time, their customers owe them about 400 billion that they can't pay the banks that are broke. And he goes on to say, there's no banking crisis. Don't worry, everything's just fine. We had a stress test. I love their stress test. These people just lie. I don't know what we do without charts. You imagine the people who believe this crap? They're going to go broke. It's unbelievable. Oh, and the Magnificent Seven stocks. Would you stop buying those things? They're not magnificent anymore. NVIDIA is the only one. It's still magnificent. Microsoft is just starting to, I'll call that one magnificent too. Say 2 out of the 7. NVIDIA and Microsoft. That's it. If you go look at Meta, that's not magnificent. It had this big gap up. Now, what's that mean? Okay, if you have a stock that went from 390 all the way up to 480, trading between 390 and 480, that means that's it. They had the grand finale. It's over. Do you know how many people jump in at the top when they came out with their earnings and the stock was at 400 and it shot up? That's from 400 that same day to 485. People jumped in. I got to get in. I got to get at 485 before it goes to 585. Get me in. Panic buying, right? It didn't go anywhere. The stock's coming down. It's going to back and fill. So that's not a Magnificent Seven anymore. All the ammo's gone. They used the ammo up. And the enemy's coming over the trenches. They don't have any bullets. Amazon, same thing. They came out with the earnings report, right? At $159. The stock shot up the same day, 172. And you got every tourist jumping in at 172. Hey, what happened with 159? What happened to 160? What happened to 161, 162? Oh, we skipped those numbers. They don't look good. It's like the kind of when you're driving here in Florida. I don't know anywhere else, but in Florida, you sit here at a red light, you got 2-3 cars in front of you, and it turns green, and you still sit there. What the hell you want? What color are you looking for? And these people in Florida, they'll stay at that red light all day long. It's the same thing here with these. When you go from $159 and the market opens, it goes to 172 in about 10 minutes because they report their earnings. It's over. This is the grand finale. You don't want to be in those stocks. You wanted to be in Amazon with us when we got into Amazon in November at 138. But you know how many people bought at the very top at 171? The majority. Same thing with Meta. We got into Meta. Excuse me. We got into Meta again back in November. And so people are getting into. People got into Meta for the first time around 486, when we got in at an average around 329. So again, and then Apple's no longer a magnificent stock. Apple's broke down. You got 3 lower highs. That's not a magnificent stock. Tesla, horrible stock. Matter of fact, we've been shorting Tesla. We just started to take our profits on Tesla. Make sure they take their profits, by the way. Google. It's another one. That's not magnificent. That fell out of bed. So the Magnificent Seven is not magnificent anymore. So some of that money is rotating over to the semis, okay? Over to the semis. Again, NVIDIA is a semi. And so, again, the semis are breaking down as well. And even take the AI stocks. There's only a few of those that are left. I'll go over those when I get back. This is crazy what people are doing. They have no idea what they're doing. That's the problem.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. When the stock market is volatile, how do you invest intelligently?
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. There's no need for you to be panicking in a market that goes up 800 points one day, 700 points, then it goes down again. All you need is good advice, need good direction. You don't get that from your CNBC and the Fox Business and all these crazy shows. You don't. Here's what you get from them. Thank you, Jim Cramer. But this is something that this really bugs me. Listen to this.
Our responsibility begins and ends with our partners and our shareholders, and that's it.
What? Their responsibility is to their partners and shareholders and not to you? Check my site out, philsgang.com.
When the stock market is up one day and down the next, you need the experience of Phil Grande at philsgang.com.
What a difference it makes in your financial life. philsgang.com. It works.
Phil Grande has successfully taught tens of thousands of investors how to navigate the market with confidence.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. That's right, philsgang.com. Join my gang for 10 days. It's free. If anything, during that 10-day period, you're going to learn how the market really works. You're going to find information that you never had before. You're going to walk away and go, I didn't know that. So join my gang for 10 days free, philsgang.com. And you're also going to learn how to make money when the market goes down. It's kind of silly just sitting there when the market going down, hoping. Why hope? when you can sell short and make money. Either way, you make money when the market goes up, you make money when the market goes down. That's the benefit of Phil's Gang. You make money.
Become a Phil's Gang member and receive the training, advice, and software that will take your investing to the next level.
philsgang.com. Sign up free for 10 days.
I signed up, and I've learned an incredible amount from Phil and Steve. The staff at Phil's Gang gives platinum-level service and stock recommendations. You know, it's as simple as that. At the end of a month or so, I've always been in the black. Phil's Gang is a class act. I'm happy to be a member.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
When you listen to the advice of Phil Grande at philsgang.com, you'll find investing in the stock market makes sense with the right guidance.
People keep saying to me, boy, things are hard, things are tough. Boy, the market's really screwed up. I don't agree with them. For us here at Phil's Gang, you know, we make it so it's simple. It doesn't matter if the market's bad or good. We consistently do well because we make it simple. And just like for my listeners on the radio or on the internet or my podcast, we make it simple. We try to break it down so you really understand why the market is going up or why there's continued inflation or why the bank rates are going up. So you understand. Especially yields. The most important thing to understand how yields work. Just what we do. We work hard at it.
Trusted advice, easy to understand strategies that will make you a better investor. Get all the details at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com.
You're not alone. 80% of those in the stock market, just like you, lose money. Hi, I'm Phil Grande, philsgang.com. Why do they lose? Because they don't know how to short stocks in down market. That will change once you use my patent Pro 2 color-coded chart. It works. The technology works. And it not only gives you an edge on the upside, but Pro 2 will put a smile on your face on the downside. That's right. Check it out. Free 10-day trial at philsgang.com.
You want to invest your money and grow your wealth. How do you invest intelligently? Become a Phil's Gang member and receive the training, advice, and software that will take your investing to the next level. Our team is comprised of successful investors, all with proven track records. Phil's Gang software is easy to use, painless to navigate, and tells you exactly when to buy and sell to help maximize profits. Learn about common market mistakes and how to minimize them. Phil's Gang has successfully taught tens of thousands of investors how to navigate the market with confidence. You don't need to be a seasoned investor to benefit from the Phil's Gang platform, no matter what level of investor you are. Phil's Gang strategies for investing are designed to put you on the path to success. Sign up for a 10-day free trial to see our platform in action, avoid market pitfalls, and start winning with Phil's Gang. Learn more at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com.
Welcome back. Learn, invest, and make profits with Phil Grande. Simply go to philsgang.com. Now, here's Phil.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang. You know, it's interesting. This is where people really start getting hurt. We made all our money going back to October. And if you remember, if you took and looked at, if you were with us in October, we bought Apple. We bought most of our stocks October 22 to about 28, something like that. And we caught that big rally up. And we caught it in AMD, same thing. We caught that in October. We bought that October 30th. So the problem is now all these big stocks. We caught JP Morgan. We bought the banks. This was, remember, all these banks and all these tech stocks, we caught the short. We shorted them from August all the way down to October. All the bank stocks, the Magnificent Seven stocks, we shorted those. And then the end of October, I had my members turn around and then flip and do the opposite, buy them all back. And they shot up again. So what happened is we had a big move from July to October, and then we had a bigger move from about October all the way up again to December, January. So now what's happening is the stocks are falling apart now, or they're going sideways. So notice the move has been made. Because remember what this whole last move was about, a big lie. The last move in these stocks have been, we're going to have 6 rate cuts. We're going to have 6 rate cuts. That was the last move. And it was a lie. They cannot cut rates. And they know that. So finally they came out and said, oh, we can't cut rates. Of course they can't cut rates. There's too much money supply. There's too much money supply in there. And so when you got all this money supply, it creates inflation. They put too much money supply in. And remember, it goes back to 14 years. They never fixed it. When they went back to 2008, 2009, they put all this money in so they could take the banks and buy all their garbage, treasuries, and buy all their subprime loans and mortgages in exchange to give them new capital. But the idea for that capital was then to loan it to the CEOs of the tech companies who weren't making any money. And they said, we're going to show you how to make money, okay, without profits. It's a program called Prosperity Without Profits, i.e. QE. So now you give all this money to these people, CEOs, free, interest-free, and now they start buying back their own stock. But remember, that's the worst kind of inflation. That's the worst kind of inflation. It went up for 14 years. Continually. Remember, when they first started, they said to us, we're only going to put this money supply in for about maybe 8 months to a year because we realize how bad it is. And we realize how bad it is when the government's buying its own debt. That's really bad. When they monetize their own debt. Are you kidding me? Bad. But we're going to do it for about 8 months, maybe a year to most. 14 years later, they're still doing it. So the inflation is still in the system. 11 rate hikes at an average a quarter? Give me a break. What are you, nuts? 11 rate hikes? There's so much money in the system that's what's causing this inflation, and that's why they can't control it. By the way, I want to talk about how many times have we heard the old adage, how the escalating national debt threatens the economic future of our children and grandchildren, our retirement, our Social Security, our Medicaid, our Medicare, all at risk because of the runaway national debt. And what happens when you hear that? Nobody gives a damn. Everybody yawns. Everybody yawns. It's like, it's like a cartoon. Or like a riddle. Nobody believes it. Well, it's here. It's now here. The national debt in 10 years is going to increase by 73%. From 34 trillion to 60 trillion. You have to be nuts. Why? Because remember, when you go from 34 trillion to 60 trillion, there's tremendous consequences. You have consequences. They're so severe. The nation, when it's saddled with that kind of debt, rates increase, growth stops. Business investment stops. No business investment. Companies don't buy equipment, no IT, nothing, just stops. Then the economy stops growing, boom. People get laid off, boom. And then what does the government do? Keep spending more money than the tax they take in. Well, wait a minute. What, are they stupid? And then they start running these big deficits, which they're doing right now. Deficits. So they keep printing money, got paid a deficit. That's more inflation. That's why they can't cut rates. So not only does you get increased inflation, you get increased rates when this happens, increased unemployment, less productivity. Then it leads to trade deficits. That occurs when we can't provide ourselves with stuff because nobody's working at the factories. Cost of imports increase. Our savings drop. We lose the dollar power, and our dollar goes down. The value of our dollar goes down. So why do we allow this to happen? Why don't we stop this? Why in the hell are we letting the debt go from 34, go up 72%? And you know how fast 10 years goes by? Does anybody remember 10 years ago? Most people can remember. Everybody said, holy man, that's been 10 years? Matter of fact, my wife's little dog, I thought he was like 4 years old. And she reminded me he was 10 years old. I said, holy God. It goes by, boom. So in 10 years, this country's going to be destroyed. You say, well, why can't they stop it? Well, unfortunately, those who could stop this and make a difference and say, no more are we going to spend more money than our tax revenue. But the people who could make that decision, who could make that difference, who control government spending to make sure there's no spending more than our tax revenue, the problem is they're disciples of Paul Krugman, a devoted Marxist. And remember, the same people who believe in Paul Krugman, they believe debt has no relevance. It puts no strain on the economy because of redistribution of wealth. So, unfortunately, most of the Congress who runs everything in Washington, okay, the same people who run it, that's Biden's Democratic Socialist Party base. They are AOC, Cortez, Tlaib, Cory Bush, Craig Caesar, Elizabeth Warren, Maxine Waters. I can go on and on. Cory Booker, Schumer, Sanders. They're socialists. They don't believe debt has a relevance. That you can have all the debt you want because of redistribution of wealth. So unfortunately, the majority of our Congress, our Democrat Congress, remember, they're socialists. They're Marxists. So they believe all the debt, more debt, the better. It doesn't matter because the more debt we'll create programs like they're doing in California for all the people come across the border. We'll give or New York City, we'll give everybody a credit card. This is what's going on. We could fix this, but they're not because they believe debt has no relevance on our economy. And because of that, remember, that's Biden's base. And for that very reason, he believes debt has no relevance on the economy. He signed into law what? I'll tell you when we get back. Join my gang, free for 10 days. Get my 3 chart.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. You know, I've been doing this business of trading over 55 years. God, they make it so complicated. It doesn't have to be. The best way to learn is to follow me, my actual investments. That's right. When I buy a stock, you follow me. Do exactly what I do. That's the best way to learn.
Check out the free 10-day trial. Learn more at philsgang.com.
Be my co-pilot at philsgang.com. Do what I do.
That's philsgang.com. Why are investors listening to Phil Grande of philsgang.com?
You know why people listen to my show? Because I make it simple. When you talk about the stock market, they make it so complicated. I make it easy to understand. For the average investor, the Main Street investor, most of the time, these guys, it's like they're talking to each other. We talk directly to you and we listen to you.
Invest better with the sound advice of Phil Grande at philsgang.com.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. You know, over the years, I've successfully taught tens of thousands of investors how to navigate the market with confidence. Become a Phil's Gang member and receive the training, the advice, and the software that will take your investing to the next level. You know, I have a team comprised of successful investors, all with proven track records. And the Phil's Gang software is easy to use, painless to navigate, and tells you exactly when to buy, when to sell, when to hold, when to run like hell, even short. Learn about common market mistakes and how to minimize them. You don't have to be a seasoned investor to benefit from Phil's Gang and platform. No matter what level investor you are, my strategies for investing are designed to put you on the path to success. Sign up for the 10-day free trial to see our platform in action. Avoid market pitfalls and start winning with Phil's Gang. Learn more at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com.
If you invest in the stock market, take a moment for this important advice.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. You've got to stop listening to the fake business news networks because they tell you what you want to hear instead of what you need to hear.
Phil Grande guides you step by step on investing.
You're going to know exactly what the tone of the market is. Do I sell? Do I not sell? Do I buy?
All you need to know is philsgang.com.
Check it out, philsgang.com, philsgang.com.
If you want to invest your money and grow your wealth, listen to this.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. You know, I get so tired of listening to the same garbage every day, listening to the fake business news network telling you why you should buy this stock, why you should buy, and they're always wrong. Join my gang, philsgang.com, free for 10 days. You're going to learn when to buy a stock and when not to buy a stock. Hey, years ago it was different. You could buy a stock based on fundamentals. You could buy a stock based on earnings. You could buy a stock based on PE ratios. Those days are gone. That ended with QE. That ended when they financially engineered the market in 2008. Gone. Now you got to follow the money. And we have the knowledge because we have the chart. Pro 2 color-coded chart tells you when to buy, when to sell, when to run like hell.
For a limited time, you can join Phil's Gang free for 10 days.
Check it out, philsgang.com. Get the truth, get the knowledge, and understand how the market really works.
If you invest in the stock market, take a moment for this important advice.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. You've got to stop listening to the fake business news networks because they tell you what you want to hear instead of what you need to hear.
Phil Grande guides you step by step on investing.
You're going to know exactly what the tone of the market is. Do I sell? Do I not sell? Do I buy?
All you need to know is philsgang.com.
Check it out, philsgang.com, philsgang.com.
Welcome back. Learn, invest, and make profits with Phil Grande. Simply go to philsgang.com. Now, here's Phil.
Remember, this is a bubble just like we had from 1995 to 2001, the dot-com bubble. Remember that one busted right at the top. This is the same bubble that we had in 2006, 2008, and it popped. One was the dot-com bubble, the other was the housing bubble. We're now in the peak of the QE bubble, but the difference is this. In the dot-com bubble and the housing bubble, remember, they could keep kicking that can down the road. Hard, but they could do it. But today, with AI technology, they don't even need a can, and they don't even need a road to keep this thing going. So you got to be a little patient. If you didn't make your money from October to January, that's when you had to make your money. If you're going in now and they're keeping you all excited to jump in the market, to jump in the last few stocks that are left, and remember, the stocks that are left, the Magnificent Seven, there's only two that's really doing well. Start switching to some other stocks. You join my gang, we'll show you which stocks that we have our gang in. I mean, try it for 10 days. It's free. You get all three charts. Used to get one chart. Now you get three. But I want to finish up with, again, remember, because our Congress is controlled by the Democrats, mostly. I know they don't control the House. I get all that. But they really do control almost the House and the Senate and the White House. They control everything. So it's these same people, remember, they're a socialist Democrat party. And they won't even deny that. And as a socialist, you don't believe debt has any relevance because of redistribution of wealth. Doesn't matter if there's debt, because everybody lives the same. Everybody, shares the debt. That's what they believe. And unfortunately, our Senate and House Banking Committee, whose job is to make sure they keep our economy on sound footing and focus on inflation. Remember, inflation, all presidents scared to death of inflation except this one. Always focused on inflation, but no more. So, because Biden believes he's a disciple of Krugman, that has no relevance. Remember what he did? He signed into law all of these debt inflationary bills that he would never have done before he turned to be a socialist and depend on a socialist base. He signed into law all these initiatives full of inflation. He increased the federal deficit by $250 billion, just signing those into law. American COVID Rescue Plan, Inflation Reduction Act, Omnibus Bill, Ukraine war. He expanded the money supply like nobody ever. And once you expand that money supply, you can't get it out. And as long as you don't reduce that balance sheet from the Fed that they put remember the balance sheet of the Fed back in 2008 before they started to do this QE nonsense was about $800 billion. They went and took all this crap from the banks and gave them cash, took all their bad stuff, put it on their balance sheet. When it's on your balance sheet, inflation keeps going. Rates keep going up. See, that's why they lied. They knew they couldn't raise rates. They can't raise rates. They know that. I'm sorry, not raise rates, cut rates. They're going to cut rates 3 to 6 times, remember? And the last defense for us, the rest of us, would have been the Senate House and Banking Committee. But as I told you, the same people who control this now control the Senate and House Banking Committees. Maxine Waters. She admits she's a communist. She admits she's a Marxist. She wanted to take over all. Remember when she said she wants to take over all oil companies? Going to take them all over. The government's going to take them all over. So when you have a large national debt like we do, and it's going to get worse and worse, your economy comes to a stop. All of a sudden you start tightening, we got to get some of that money out. We got to get some of that money supply out. Let's pull that money supply out. So this is the fastest bank tightening on record, trying to get that money out. Not working. Our yield curve's inverted. That's a killer. And we have the worst earning in 25 years. When they come out and they tell you this here, how earnings are so terrific, that's a bull-faced lie.
Can you explain why the market has handled it so well that we're not getting 7 rate cuts starting next month? I mean, we were counting on that. We were set up for that. It's obviously not going to happen now, and we're still trading higher.
Because earnings are coming through pretty good.
Listen to this.
Are companies making money? 40% of Russell 2000 companies have negative earnings.
That's right. So they're lying to us about that. But you can continue to make money. Remember, you're in this for a long term. This is not day trading. And one of the worst things with large deficits and debt, especially when deficits increased 340% since 2008 to today. Wow. So, but we did well. But remember, we did well from October to January. Now you just got to wait. You got to wait. And stop going after those damn Magnificent Seven. There's nothing magnificent. The only one that's still any decent, really, and even Microsoft's not real decent, is NVIDIA. It's the stock holding up everything. One stock's holding up the whole market. Are you kidding me? So now where you make money is going the opposite way now. Remember, from July to October, we shorted all those big tech stocks, those 7 tech stocks. We shorted them all. We shorted all the banks from July to October. We had about a 20%, 15 to 20% return, shorting them. Then we turned around and went long from October to January, where we are today. It's over. And everybody makes the same mistake. They get in at the very, very top, and they lose money. They lose money. So there's not going to be a rate cut. There's not. Because why? Remember what I'm telling you. There's too much money supply, which is very inflationary. 14 years they've been putting all this money in. 14 years. So they could keep buying from the banks all their debt and garbage, put on their balance sheet. So the banks could take and give money at zero interest rates to the companies to buy their own stock, to push stocks up from $25 to $2.25. 14 years. You see stocks at $2.25, not even worth $25. But see, we never had a recession. They wouldn't allow a recession to reset those stocks to make sure they didn't get from $25 to $2.25, $25 to $600. That's why we're going to have one hell of a ride on the way down. Look, think of this. A new car in 2017 was $54,000. That same car is $100,000. That same car. Go to a ball game, buy pretzels. You can get 2 pretzels for a nickel. Now they're $13. See, that's because all of that money is still in their supply. Anyone would have told you that he can't keep his word that he was going to start rate cuts. Now, I'm assuming he's going to do a show call. Why? Because here's another lie, Powell. Here's another big lie from Powell right here.
Your decisions inevitably are going to have a bearing on this year's election. And I wonder, to what degree does politics determine your timing?
We do not consider politics in our...
Oh my God, no comment. No comment. I'll let you decide if what he's saying is true or not. Okay, so remember again, the first thing they did was prop these banks up with QE. First thing they did in 2008. Then they went into QE program, prosperity without profits, giving all that money to companies free to buy their own shares to push the stock up. So what do? Please join my gang, free for 10 days. You're going to get the 3 best charts in the world for 10 days free. And then you'll get the best stocks.
You have been listening to Phil's Gang with your host, Phil Grande, on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Remember to visit Phil's website at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or call the office, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
It's up to me to make